Damn right. I told you I was here to stay. People are going to figure out who I am one way or another.
You feeling over there, buddy?
There's no one here beside me. My thoughts have all gone. Oh, man.
I hope you know, I hope you know I had a nice old intro planned. You know, I was going to steal your gimmick and sing a wrestling thing. I was going to sing McIntyre's theme, but because you feel in some type of way, I'm going to let you have that.
What is up with this gimmick infringement?
I'm unoriginal.
Something else we're finding out about you slowly but surely, the picture of what Dalton is. We're putting those puzzle pieces together. We're going to get a whole person one of these days.
I was being compassionate. Cass is in a glass case of emotion right now.
Yeah, but I'm good. I'm here to entertain the people, of course, and provide my knowledge in the world of wrestling. So I want to get this moving. I'm ready to have some fun.
Okay, you ready to have some fun? Let's go ahead and talk about Survivor Series. I don't know if this is going
Never mind.
I was just about to say, I don't know if this is going to be a subject of fun for you, but let's just try it out. We have the whole teams formed, the women's side, the men's side, then you also have, I think, the tag team. Is that
What SmackDown is going to kick Raw's ass with those teams.
I'm not too sure about any of this because it's very easy for us to sit here and say SmackDown is the quality show. We've all followed the drinking gourd on the Underground Railroad from Raw.
Hey, wait, real quick, shout out in the chat to Lucas. He's listening to us. Shout out, what's up, man?
Yeah, shout out to Lucas. As far as that whole Underground Railroad thing, it's kind of funny. We were joking about it, under the circumstances. But yeah.
Oh, man.
One thing I wanted to talk about specifically is Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon replaced Baron Corbin on Team SmackDown, and now it's AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt. Who's the fourth person?
Randy Orton for some reason.
Randy Orton, he's on the team. And then Shane McMahon. That's going to be the team that is heading into battle with Monday Night Raw. And the interesting thing about this is that I read a few of the reasons why WWE made this move, and apparently it was to make the match feel bigger and feel like more of an event. And that's wonderful. Go ahead and take one of the
guys
superstars
who
are on the roster. Yeah,
for real.
One of the guys who could use the platform, take him off the team and, put somebody on from the Attitude Era. Makes sense. Yeah.
You know what? We have always talked about this on this program of, even though Shane McMahon, we were glad to see him back this year, and of course the match at WrestleMania wasn't anything to write home about, but again, they brought him back for nostalgia factor. This just proves to show you that they really do not care much about how they feel about the current roster, or maybe they just didn't trust Baron Corbin enough. And let me ask you this question. How come in the world that you're willing to trust a guy like Braun Strowman, but you're not willing to trust Baron Corbin, who could really use the spot? Here's the thing. I love Shane. I think we love Shane, but it's just...
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, I'm not even really tripping off of this that much. It's just that it's one more instance of WWE continuing on with this pattern of, let's go with the old guy. Let's not put any of the the people that we have on our roster on a week-to-week basis, they're not special. In the case of Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, that's just overt in your goddamn face right there. Even though their objective will be met, because we can go ahead and call a spade. Shane McMahon, he'll get a bigger pop than Baron Corbin. More people will look at it because of Baron Corbin. But how do you tip that balance into the favor of the people who are there on a week-to-week basis if this is your go-to every single time?
I think the answer is kind of the reason this match kind of came about, or not this match, but the reason the substitution came about is because I think their philosophy is to combat nostalgia, you have to plug in more nostalgia. I mean, think about it. If their reasoning is that, well, we need a match to kind of supplicate the hype that Goldberg and Lesnar's going to get, well, throw in somebody else from the same era because, yes, we love Shane. Shane's going to get easily a bigger pop than would Baron Corbin, but you're squandering an opportunity for Baron Corbin to grow because, look, Raw took a chance. Raw took a risk by putting Braun Strowman in there, and at least on Monday night, what little of it I saw, he looked pretty strong. It looked like they were really focusing on him.
I actually do like Strowman. I'm actually coming around to that guy, believe it or not. Like I'm hearing that he actually does a lot more than what he does in the ring, so he's definitely
one of those
holding
big guys that can go out there and do a 450 splash, but those vanilla midgets are holding him back.
Let's just hope that he doesn't do a damn drop kick and he doesn't die while doing it, but yeah.
Let's see, I really like Baron Corbin. I do, and I know he doesn't fit the mold of what usually gets praised in this day and age in wrestling. But I hope people would honestly just give him a look and see the type of shit that he does and realize that the guy, he could be something special in the future. I'm just hoping that WWE realizes it and the fans, at the very least, approach the situation with an open mind, because the fact that Baron Corbin is over 6 foot tall, the fact that he wasn't a big star on the indies and things like that, that is going to just straight from the damn gate prevent a lot of people from looking at him and saying, this is a cool person, this is somebody that I could possibly get behind. But even with me saying everything that I'm saying here about Shane being on the team and yada yada yada, what I thought about that, the way in which Baron Corbin was escorted out of the match, I really love the execution of that.
Kalisto got a major Raw. You already get some heat on Kalisto for that. And also, it definitely continues on what Baron Corbin did to him a couple of months ago. So, even though I was
on SmackDown, when he popped in the ring and Baron Corbin knocked the shit out of him, that caught me off guard. I was like, damn, but, that's my homeboy right there, Baron Corbin. Didn't surprise me at all.
That execution was good, though. I mean, I actually just rewatched because I kind of missed SmackDown because there was kind of something really, really important on Tuesday. Not really sure what it was.
Yeah, I just watched SmackDown today.
Yeah, as did I. Okay, we're on the same page. So I rewatched it today. I rewatched it today, and looking at how Baron Corbin, he could have believably actually taken a bad spill. I mean, the way he fell off the apron, No, I looked at it at first and I was like, if you glance away too fast, you might have thought he really actually took a dive. But obviously we know it's contrived because now, if Shane never substituted for him, I could have thought it was real because the slip looked legitimate. And it's a little thing like that. It's the little thing where you went the extra mile in the means by which to get to the end. Like you didn't just, flub up something and just throw yourself out there and get fake injured just to move on to the next spot. You put some effort into that, and that says to me, Baron Corbin has a lot of good fundamentals where, sure, he doesn't have an indie presence, and he doesn't have a very big foundation with which to work, and that to me says, no, he doesn't have a whole lot of backlog to work with, and that to me says that's a whole lot of building room.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen him lay down that foundation and build in NXT, and there hasn't been much to go off of on the main roster, but I really like the character of Baron Corbin, and I'm hoping that this isn't any kind of situation where it's like, okay, yeah, well, this guy, well, shit, it is them saying he's expendable, but not expendable to the sense that we can't do anything with him at all. Just this wasn't the right avenue to do it with, and we'll re-explore Baron Corbin at a later date.
Speaking of SmackDown real quick, people, I have come on this program pretty much for the last few weeks calling James Ellsworth the no-chin douchebag, and that other word that I cannot mention because I don't want no controversy. But
you don't want controversy, okay?
The fact that he is going to be the damn SmackDown mascot for my brand,
I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah, please educate us.
You said you'll live with it?
I'll live with it.
Okay,
because honestly, with him being here is almost
that's not what I thought you were gonna say.
That's what I thought about this. Now that he's gonna be part of the team, oh yeah, we're damn sure winning this match now.
Is he like the good luck charm?
Yep.
Okay. Well, see, we found a way for you to be able to put up with not Baron Corbin, James Ellsworth. This is an improvement.
The SmackDown team just needs to rub his chin for luck. Oh, wait.
Well, shit, I guess that means they're losing. Yeah.
Oh no,
over to Raw.
But I will say though, I mean, I think real quick though, Shane being in the match does add that Survivor Series main event of importance, and it does intrigue me a bit to see like what do they really expect to do with Shane, because I'm more interested to see what he does after that, or if it's going to involve something daring in the match. So, hate the fact that Baron Corbin did not get that spot, but if it has somewhat of a consequence afterwards is what I'm hoping, but it's what it is.
A few things just popped into my mind based off of that.
Yeah, you thinking maybe some Beast Incarnate might have something to do with the match?
I hope not.
That
is one thing. Brock Lesnar versus Shane, I literally have no fuck. I have negative fucks for that.
I don't need it. I'm simply saying that's where I think they're going.
Oh, they're going with that for WrestleMania next year. They're going with that. Speaking of Brock Lesnar and Goldberg,
man, don't bring that to WrestleMania. I'm going to WrestleMania.
I don't know if you guys saw those video packages that they did Monday Night on Raw for the whole Goldberg Lesnar match at Survivor Series, like the sit down interviews.
Mm-hmm.
If you did not watch the damn build for when Goldberg came back and that shitty ass segment that Heyman and Lesnar had a couple weeks ago, and if all you want to see to watch this match, just watch that. Just watch the interview sit down sets, because honestly, that was probably the only best build I've seen for this match so far.
Yeah, I haven't checked them out yet because, to be quite honest, there's absolutely nothing that will get me to the point where I'm excited about Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. That's just not my thing. And you know what's funny? WWE has been promoting Survivor Series. What do they call it? Fantasy warfare come to life.
BS.
No, if you look at this card, this is some shit that you would only think is possible in WWE 2K17. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. A 5-on-5 match. Shane McMahon on the team. And this is some shit that you would only think of in a video game. So I guess it's appropriate that WWE is doing this, promoting it in the way that they are, and using it as marketing for WWE 2K17. So,
and they're both going to be on Raw. And they're both going to be on Raw next week, face to face. Like, what did we tell you, people? The typical Lesnar build match. One shows up one week, the other shows up the next. Heyman cuts a promo. We see the sit-down interviews the week before, and then at the final go-home show, they face the face-off. And it's like, no originality whatsoever to this at all. And I'm not surprised.
You know, I'm not surprised either, but to Cass's credit, I think the unsung heroes, not just in this feud, but in most builds as of late, is the video production team.
Mm-hmm. I sing the praises every freaking WWE pay-per-view. If they are unsung, I'm trying, because they are fucking phenomenal. Really.
Like, they can make a feud like this. They can make a match that I don't give two shits about seem like it's really cool when you do some really fancy, snazzy editing and throw in a 12-Stone song or something over it,
What else do we have to discuss? We have some interesting news on the Cruiserweight front. Well, yes, concerning two titles in WWE. So we have Dolph Ziggler putting up the Intercontinental Championship at Survivor Series, and his opponent will be Sami Zayn. Now, I know, Cass, there were rumors out previously saying that we won't find out until Survivor Series, but it turns out we did find out. Sami Zayn will be the opponent, and because SmackDown has a title being defended in an inter-promotional match or inter-brand match. They're not two different fucking promotions, as much as WWE would like us to believe. But yeah, we have that match. We also have Monday Night Raw's Brian Kendrick putting up his Cruiserweight Championship versus Kalisto. Now, the interesting thing about this match is that if Kalisto wins, not only does the Cruiserweight Championship come to SmackDown, but the entire division comes to SmackDown as well. I think it's pretty safe to say that Kalisto is winning that one.
I agree, but this is what I don't get. Throughout all this, it's just like we talked about last week on how that new 205 live special, that new show that's going to be happening immediately following SmackDown. But what I don't understand is the fact that why are you doing it after a live SmackDown when about pretty much your entire core audience doesn't give two shits about the cruiserweights?
It's a very tough position to put them in because you're doing it after SmackDown, and at this point, they will have already seen whatever the main event of SmackDown is, and it'll just be a sense of
like dark match.
It'll be like a downer. You come down from that point to cruiserweights who've had struggles already finding their footing on the main roster, and we've seen the effects of putting the cruiserweights in the third hour of Monday Night Raw. This is essentially creating, let's go ahead and call it what it is. SmackDown is 3 hours now.
Yep,
officially. It seems weird that they would put this stipulation on this match and then have 205 Live right after SmackDown. For all of this to happen and for the Cruiserweight division not to move over to SmackDown, it's kind of like this is too much of a friggin' coincidence. All of this stuff being lined up for the Cruiserweight division not to be over to SmackDown. So SmackDown is pretty much a 3-hour show now, and there are a lot of challenges that will come into play based off of that.
Yeah, I think I can certainly see how it's very believable that WWE, as a conglomerate, would want to have both of their shows mirror each other as far as time. I certainly think that if
they're moving in the wrong fucking direction, then I'm thinking 2 each.
That's what we need, ideally, of course, but you got to be a realist here. I certainly think the closer you are to SmackDown and the powers that be that run SmackDown, you as a wrestling promotion in WWE, you as a division in WWE, stand a hell of a better chance of actually getting something meaningful on TV. I don't see it doing any favors to the Cruiserweights, however, to put them on after the main event because, as you guys mentioned, the live crowd will be pretty, brain dead at that point. And even if, whoever it will be, Brian Kendrick, TJ Perkins, yada yada, whoever comes out after the main event will kind of feel like, well, this is a big drop-off. And you don't want that to happen to the Cruiserweight division. If you want to feature them significantly, you want it to be apparent on TV that the crowd is getting them over. I think this is something better served for, let Kalisto win, let the Cruiserweights come over to SmackDown.
Come home, please. Just come home to the blue brand.
Let them go to SmackDown, and then praise be to Kalisto, but let them be the openers. I really think Cruiserweights serve a whole lot of a better purpose for the live crowd and TV audience as well when they're opening the show, because high-flying action is supposed to, in theory, get you amped up and get you ready to see what else is going on. And that's not to say that you can't switch it around sometimes, but putting them in the dead zone on Raw, I don't see how putting them in blue coloring on Tuesday nights does them any better if it's just the same dead zone.
Well, it'll be purple, so yeah.
I can't see purple anyway, so okay.
No difference to you then. But yeah, something else that I've been hearing, the streets are talking, and
not our streets, like the actual riding streets, but that's around the point.
Some folks are saying that The Miz could possibly be moving over to SmackDown. Now, I didn't get an opportunity
You mean Raw?
Yes, moving over to Monday Night Raw. Yes.
No, don't do that.
Hold on. So apparently there was something going on Talking Smack where Daniel Bryan was talking about the possibility of a trade if The Miz doesn't defeat Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship next week. And this sounds, as terrible as it sounds, this sounds like some straight up shit that WWE would do. I would not put it past them at all. With The Miz, he's had this career resurgence. He's breathed new life into this character that he's playing on a week-to-week basis. He's going out there doing great shit, and he's within an atmosphere that allows him to do all of that great stuff. He was one of the hottest WWE superstars today. Must see. Let's take him and put him on Monday Night Raw. No.
What the fuck is that?
What are you doing? You're just trying to take everything away from me. And I know that if we get The Miz over on Raw, it's not going to be the same Miz that we see every week on SmackDown. It's going to be their bullshit, bastardized version of him. And then not only do you take that gem away from SmackDown, you put a person that I'm a fan of in that bullshitty atmosphere of nothingness that is Monday Night Raw. And it's like a 1-2 punch, because I'm saying that The Miz is must see. Raw Miz ain't gonna be must see, so that's not gonna make me watch the show. I'm not gonna give any more of a fuck about Raw than I do right now. So I hope, please don't let this be the case, but I've hoped for a lot of things not to happen, and they've been happening lately. So I don't know if that means
have you
anything.
forgotten which company you've been watching?
Not at all. Not at all. That's why I said it's stupid, but I would not put it past them. Would not put it past them at all.
But I will say though, the trade thing, again, it does intrigue me a bit. Like, I do like it as much shit as we give WWE.
The concept of trade. Are you saying the concept of trades, or this specific trade with The Miz going to Raw?
The concept.
Okay.
The concept of the trade, because again, with the Intercontinental Championship being up for grabs in a match that actually means something with a brand versus brand war, does have me intriguing. Does that mean that the Intercontinental Championship goes to Raw, or does Sami Zayn go to SmackDown? It does add some possibilities.
Yeah.
Like I just thought about that. Like, so leading up to this last week, this whole brand warfare mantra, SmackDown has been alleging that the Raw superstars are lackluster and lazy and complacent. And what does that say about the Raw roster in general if they're willing to risk Miz going somewhere where he can later be lackluster, lazy, and complacent? Now, we know him not to be that, but that's Daniel Bryan's impression of him. I kind of have to agree with Cass here. I like the idea of a trade, but this specific trade is absolute garbage. I think if you were ever going to do a trade scenario, it'd be better served in the Survivor Series match, because then it feels like both teams are actually fighting for something that matters to the brand. Because right now, the whole idea of, we're battling for brand supremacy and we're better than Team Red, we're better than Team Blue. Yeah, I don't buy a damn thing, because we're supposed to be hating each other on our own individual shows for, the whole time, and then this one pay-per-view we have to make friends and then pretend we're aligning because we're better than you. Like, it's so fucking stupid. If you're gonna do a trade, put it in that scenario, because then it feels like that match actually holds some weight. And like the Intercontinental match, match-wise, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, that's gonna be match of the night. It's gonna be a damn good match in ring-wise, and I'm glad. That,
those are two guys who love to. Who the fuck are they gonna sell for?
Exactly, like they're both gonna gonna look at each other and both do backflips.
Yeah, both of them are gonna just start spontaneously taking bumps.
Yeah, it makes me wonder though, like if you have a trade, who is Miz being traded for?
I guess if Sami Zayn was to win the Intercontinental Championship, he would come over to SmackDown and The Miz.
Please.
Just throw him over to Raw.
Please bring Sami Zayn to SmackDown.
I would love to see Sami Zayn over on
SmackDown, so I could get Cesaro versus AJ Styles, which will be fucking awesome.
Knowing how SmackDown develops characters and things like that, I think that Sami Zayn would be great over on SmackDown. Even if he doesn't win the Intercontinental Championship, trade him for David Otunga. Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
just take David Otunga. I don't even fucking just take
speaking
him.
of which,
He's free.
Did you notice like they added Tom Phillips, the SmackDown
4
announcer?
people on commentary, and it was so funny how they did it because the table isn't even fucking big enough to sit 4 people. Like Tom Phillips was sitting over like at the corner of the table.
Yes.
That should tell you something right there. And
How much?
I don't understand why did they do this. You don't.
I think I know why they're doing
I think Marlonado is going to actually call the 2-0 live stuff, and he's not going to be on the live SmackDown.
It'd be too hard to. I mean, I think he should try and just take one for the team, but it'd be too hard to try and transit from SmackDown to 205 Live. And I mean, to be fair,
what would be the transition?
I mean, if they're in the same place, I don't know. I think they're just trying to find a better team dynamic, I guess, because Graves and Morrow though together.
Oh, they're fantastic.
That's gonna be fantastic. Like that'll sell me on the first episode alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people, because Marlon and Corey Graves actually know how to call the damn moves. and you want to know what I kind of found actually funny this week? Stephanie and Shane pretty much putting their teams against each other in matches. Like, we're gonna let you get this all out of your system in that damn Fatal 5-Way match, which is redundant in itself on Raw, and then we'll put you in a 6-man tag team match on SmackDown to help you get all this anger out. Like, why? That's what I don't get.
Because they don't get along until it has to matter.
Which is funny because like Shane, I want to stop the bickering, guys. Stop fighting amongst each other, but I do want you to fight in this match though. But nowhere else. Like nowhere else. Don't fight anywhere else except for when I tell you guys it's appropriate to fight each other. Like, okay, gotcha. Like, no, really, I'm fucking confused. What's going on here? Anything else you guys want to talk about?
We covered all my bases.
I mean, we didn't like. I know someone in the chat wanted us to discuss our thoughts on Noam Dar from his Raw debut. I mean, I saw it. Like, I didn't have a problem with that at all. But Brian Kendrick knows how to take one for the team. I will say that much.
I don't watch Monday Night Raw, and I honestly wouldn't even go out of my way to. Yeah, I wouldn't even go out of my way to watch that because. I'm quite sure he got a loud reaction, and
he did.
He got a loud reaction, and
it was huge.
Yeah, but remembering him from the Cruiserweight Classic, he was one of the least impressive people, and
that's what I was.
The entire thing. So, yeah,
like,
hopefully he's changed up now, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Scotland got a big reaction. They're happy to see him because he's their boy. But
speaking of Scotland, boy, was that crowd hyped all this week on WWE television.
Did you guys see the uncut footage from Raw?
Yes, like the fact of how the crowd was able to hijack the Charlotte segment when they were doing Bayley's thing, whatever she does, like they just completely hijacked the whole segment.
So I saw this clip on YouTube of somebody filming in the arena of the Charlotte segment where she was announcing the 5th member of the women's team, and what we saw on Raw was her kind of getting a little pissed at the crowd and then saying, and the 5th member is Dana Brooke, and they're like, haha, no, it's not Dana Brooke, and apparently, yeah, they cut that all up. There was actually about 6 to 7 minutes of the crowd just singing Bayley's theme song, and Charlotte actually spoke in the mic and said, like, would you guys please stop cheering? And, like, completely breaking character just to address the crowd.
No, you don't. Here's the thing, like, this is kind of when, as fans, like, we bring it back down to earth. Again, Charlotte's still developing, but honestly, in a situation like that, when you're in front of a crowd like that, you really can't control that situation unless you are that good of a veteran when it comes to being on the microphone, because you're not going to be able to control that. But breaking character, that's what I don't get. Like, I hate to say it, but she should know better than that. But
I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, I can understand Scotland's sentiment because, I mean, part of it was started because Sasha sang the rest of the song that they were singing. But the other part is, this is the first time in how long, if maybe ever, I don't know how often WWE goes to Scotland, but this is the first time these people, as a country, get to experience WWE.
In
and
a
the
while.
only fucking thing, and the only thing you give them in a 3-hour show is like 3 matches, and one of them is Gold Dust and R-Truth versus Shining Stars. Like, you can't blame them. I wouldn't blame them. I mean, I would a little bit, but at the same time, like,
look, those folks over in the UK are obnoxious as hell.
But they're obnoxious, but they know how to do it. I will give them that.
They do know how to be obnoxious. Yes, they do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, UK European fans are somewhat better than us because at least they know how to have fun and not be assholes about it too much.
Yeah, they're assholes about it, definitely. And I already know, let me just go ahead and jump out ahead of it because I already know every single time a conversation like this comes up when people critique the crowd, well, they paid their money and they have the right to do this. Yes, they do. And guess what? I have the right to call them assholes. I have the right to call them obnoxious. That's not a violation of the First Amendment. And shit, they're in Scotland. They don't even have our First Amendment. It doesn't apply to them.
I think it's a cyclical problem, though. Like, I agree, you have the right by which to say that, and believe me, their attitude and the way they carry themselves on TV sometimes gets really annoying if you're fucking up the match. But at the same time, like, the reason why they do it is because they're not happy with what they see. So
stop buying the fucking tickets then.
They weren't really given much to cheer, unlike the SmackDown crowd Tuesday night.
Well, yeah, see, I guess SmackDown is not the show to rebel against anyway.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like Monday Night Raw. That's the crown jewel of WWE. And anytime you want to shake something up, then that would be the place to go do it. But as far as SmackDown,
you want to make a statement, do it on Raw.
Yeah. I wanted to rebel based off of something that happened on SmackDown. The fact that they kept saying all throughout the night that Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch was going to be the main event. So I'm sitting there, and I think this was like in between the first and second hours, like the end of the first, top of the second, is when they had the match. And I'm just sitting there, you know, like with the friggin' side eye, like, I don't think that the show is over after this. So this is not the main event. No. But apparently WWE like has this different definition of main event than has existed for the entirety of wrestling, and they pull it out in very convenient moments.
If you steal the show, that means you had the main event, even though you didn't go on last.
Yep. Didn't CM Punk tell us that?
Yeah, that was no. He's like, I had the best match on the card. You told me so. Then why don't you pay me like I did? The main event gets paid high, even if it's a shittier match. Like, speaking of that Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch match, I thought it was a good match. I thought
good match.
It had a
yes.
Oh yeah, damn good match.
Oh yeah, it was
good. I thought it was a smart finish because I think this needs to go on, and
I think they'll get a gimmick match.
I really enjoyed what Alexa Bliss did to continue her frustration on Talking Smack. How she comes on Talking Smack with, you know, the giant ice pack on her arm. And it's like, Daniel Bryan's like, are you okay? If my arm wasn't broken in 5 places, I'd be kicking Becky Lynch's ass right now. You need to do something about this. Like, I love that there's, you know, that continuity. And honestly, I think Alexa Bliss is really starting to carve out her own niche here. You know,
Triple H booking. I'm done.
I mean, yeah, that's the platform she's using, but she herself is doing the work on the mic, and that's what I'm being sold on. Like, you know, somebody could say, "Oh, well, she's given like Disneyland lines. You know, I'm coming for you, my pretty." Like, it doesn't matter. I think she's being convicting enough with the content that she's speaking about that, you know, it's great. And even when Becky wasn't there for her own personal reasons, I felt like this had enough build. I want to see more of this. So, screw finish is okay in this case.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I actually think they'll get a gimmick match when we get to the TLC pay-per-view. Just to top what Raw did.
They're not gonna top what Raw did.
Not like in a sense of like we actually know they're gonna top. I'm just saying like in their minds
just
they'll
to
probably
show
think that
advancement. just to
Yeah,
show
exactly.
like, hey, we understand what's going on here too. So
You think it'll be a ladder match?
it could possibly be. I would think that the ladder match is definitely coming for.
Please no table match. Please no
Yeah,
table match.
I've seen enough of the women in tables in WWE.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead and leave that one. But yeah, a ladder match for one of the titles definitely has to be coming. It could possibly be that one. But then,
Alexa said she did gymnastics, so that could work.
Which they don't bring up a lot, which is one of the fundamentals they need to bring up for her character that they can actually use.
Talk about how competitive she is, and basically that promo that she cut on Talking Smack, a month or two ago. That's the whole character right there. Just bring it on to SmackDown, and you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything more that you guys want to discuss?
Did you catch NXT this week?
Yes, I finally watched NXT.
Okay. Let me just say that DIY versus the Authors of Pain. I told you people this would deliver.
That was a damn good match. It was. That one, who was it? It was Razor. Is that his name?
Razor.
It was like a fallaway slam Samoan drop combo. I've never seen that shit before. And I was like, what? Like, I had to replay that myself on the WWE Network. Like, rewind, watch it again, and then they played another replay afterwards. And I was like, okay, yeah, that was damn good. But this match overall, everybody showed up and showed out.
It was fantastic. Like I told you, I knew as soon as I saw the graphic for this was going to be something. And again, this just proves that I get why a lot of people don't think the Authors of Pain are that impressive. Like, I can see that because they don't really do much, but it's like the little subtleties that they do. It's like I always say this: they are very good with working guys who work a fast-paced style in the ring. And Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa they definitely shown that. And of course, in the end, with the Revival costing them the match, I was fine with it. Like, I was fine with it, but I felt like DIY was one of the teams that could have been in the finals. Like, I heard a lot of people saying that.
There, especially seeing the other face team, the one that actually made it to the finals.
I'm just gonna say this. I think the Aries Strong thing, with Aries getting hurt, really messed up the bracket for this whole thing, because I honestly don't think TM61 was supposed to be there, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, really good match. In fact, I'm actually going to go back and watch it later because it was that good. But the Authors of Pain, yeah, they advanced. And of course, the second round, the second semifinal match that we had, it was TM61 taking on Sanity. And I like what Sanity did, like, before the match started. Like, give that group some heat, just some old-fashioned heat. But I will say this: Sanity, they have not had one good match since this tournament started. They have not. And of course, we know TM61, they were advancing. So at Toronto,
local talent, TM61.
TM61. Hey, I'm coming around to them. They just need to show some damn personality.
They have zero freaking personality.
That's all they had to do, is just do that, and I can take them seriously. But yeah, it'll be TM61 versus the Authors of Pain in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in NXT TakeOver Toronto. That sounds weird because those honestly, one of those teams should not be there. I am telling you, one of those teams should not be there. But yeah, and I think the other match that we had was Ember Moon versus let's just say Ember Moon was in action. Rachel Ember Moon
against Rachel, or was it Rachel? Yeah.
Either way, Ember Moon was in action. I'm surprised we haven't seen her much since Brooklyn. Like, making her that special attraction, which I can see why they want to, because I just hope they don't get into the situation where they're protecting her too much.
I don't think they're protecting her. It's just like it's a slow build. They probably don't want to have her on TV too much because they know the more people see her, the more of the conversation of Asuka versus Ember Moon that's gonna like build.
We have to save that.
Yeah, so
we gotta save that.
So that's probably their mindset. They're like, okay, we're gonna use her sparingly, sprinkle a little Ember Moon in here every now and again, just to make you remember that she's here and to continue this win streak that she's on. But yeah, they got to save her for Asuka.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Oh, real quick again on the whole DIY revival thing. William Regal, again, the best general manager. One of the best general managers in wrestling. Jay, you know I cannot wait when this match happens.
Oh, me
you
either.
know.
Me either.
DIY versus the Revival for the NXT Tag Team titles. 2 out of 3 falls. This is going to trump American Alpha and the Revival.
I was just going to ask that. Do you think it's going to trump that?
It's going to trump it. I'm sorry. It's going to trump it.
That's a pretty high bar there. I look forward to seeing them try. Most definitely. All right, what else we got on NXT?
The contract signing with Samoa Joe and Nakamura.
Can I chime in on that?
Go ahead.
No.
So, all right, okay, I won't. Gee,
damn, Jay.
I mean, he asked like we were gonna say anything other than yeah. I guess he knows that like so NXT is our thing, you know. So, but
yeah,
yes,
but
Dalton,
what do you have to say about this?
Well, because so I really enjoyed the contract signing. I thought Joe looked fantastic because we know how much of a badass he portrays himself to be. Portrays. He just is. And I love how he's commanding William Regal to walk down the ramp. You know, he's got the table set up. He's got his feet propped up on the table, and he's like, Regal, get down here with your fucking stupid accent and give me this contract. Joe, I don't think you need to be doing that. Get the fuck down here. Like,
yes. Joe owning his spot, and I love it.
Yeah, that was great stuff. I love just 2 great characters right there.
Yeah. I will say, though, I don't think the contract signing was really needed. Because I actually do think contract signings are kind of overrated nowadays because it's like, when you have the match that you officially made the match, to me, there's definitely no reason for a contract sign because I felt as if they just put these 2 guys out here just for these guys to have some animosity leading into the match. And I just don't want any, like, unnecessary animosity, if that makes sense. Like, don't put it out there if you don't need to, like, have these guys interact.
Well, I've been with you every single step of the way with that and the build for Nakamura and Samoa Joe. I think what they did on this last episode of NXT, it was harmless. Okay. It was harmless, and it signaled that this is going to be the end. We have the go-home show next week, and I don't see any reason for them to interact with each other beyond doing a contract signing. So this is like, okay, here's your build here. Whatever happens next week happens if they do like those short interview segments and you know, all of that stuff. So
speaking of
it was harmless.
Speaking of interview segments, I accidentally skipped over Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger when they had some sit down interviews talking about each other.
Yes, and great stuff from both of them.
I cannot wait when this match happens. This match is going to be 10 stars. It's going to be glorious. Like I like this feud. It's simple. It's so simple, and they're making it work so well.
Yeah, and I didn't even know Ty Dillinger was from Canada.
Oh, the crowd is going to be so split.
Oh,
they're going to be beside themselves. They're not going to be split shit. They're going to cheer for both of them. But yeah, I didn't even know that.
I will say the card for Toronto is really good. Like it's really good. But I'm telling you, if Aries hadn't gotten hurt at that live event, I guarantee you TM61 would not be in the finals. Because I really don't think they were supposed to be there.
Let's see what we have so far for the card. Nakamura versus Joe for the NXT Championship. Asuka versus Mickie James, Women's Championship. Bobby Roode, Ty Dillinger, Authors of Pain versus TM61. And the Revival versus DIY. Looking pretty good now. Okay. Guys, want to go to some calls now?
Yeah, let's hear from the people.
Let's make up for last week because we didn't have any calls.
Okay, so if you would like to call in and have your voices be heard on air, have any questions or comments from us, feel free to go ahead and do so. The number is 347-857-2401. Again, the number is 247-857-2401. That's for anyone who is listening in live right now. We do our shows Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're listening live, you know that. If you're not, then this, telling you the number doesn't really matter. You're lost. But let's go ahead and answer our first call now. This is 919. 919. Okay, I guess we're going to the next one. 412. Hello.
Hey, fellas, what's up? Marco from Dayton.
What's up, Marco?
I was say that sounds
What's
like
up?
Marco.
Marco!
You're not planning on causing any trouble this week, are you?
I mean, as long as Kaz says that one thing for me.
So the answer to that question is yes. Then, all right. What's your question for us?
All right. Well, anyone see TNA this week?
I did. I took a gander. I took a gander at this week, man. What you got for me?
Y'all see Matt Hardy in his new stage? This is too funny. He has amnesia now.
Yes, he's got amnesia. He can't remember anything. It's like he's still got like the broken look. It's just like for some reason he's wearing a sweater. And it's like he's acting like just weird. And I know that they're supposed to be having an episode that involves the Hardy compound in its entirety. Like that's what the 2 hours is just gonna be at the Hardy home in Cameron, North Carolina. And I cannot wait when that happens.
Yeah. So back to James Ellsworth again, and you see all the stuff that he's been doing lately. He's been very hard-headed, and he's been trespassing, and
is he the new Santino?
After him. Do you think that he might cause the SmackDown team to lose at Survivor Series?
Oh, don't even say that.
Yeah, that's definitely a big possibility there.
I turn on him now. Get him away. Get him away.
So you're jumping off the boat again, Cass? Man.
Yes, because I just realized that.
But yeah, that definitely is a possibility. You have to imagine that some type of craziness, some type of fuckery is going to happen due to his presence at ringside. Otherwise, like, why would he be there if they weren't going to capitalize off of that in some form or fashion? But I would, it would behoove them to realize that if they are pushing this match to the level of seriousness that they are, then maybe having James Ellsworth be the deciding factor isn't such a good idea.
How funny would it be if he actually turned on SmackDown and enjoyed the Raw brand? that'd be one of the biggest heel turns. That'd be one of the biggest heel turns.
You think he's going to turn on him? Like, I was actually figuring they were going to go the other way with it and for some reason, have Ellsworth be the reason that they win.
No. I'm sitting here saying no, like, don't get him involved in the finish of the match at all, but shit, like I said, he's there for a reason.
You guys know that.
He's there for a reason.
He's definitely going to be involved in the decisions, just how, like, whether it's going to be a mistake on his part, like, you made a mistake again and you call SmackDown the brand, or he's going to be, like, a jerk and go to the Raw brand and say, you guys don't appreciate me here on SmackDown. Now I'm on Raw.
This nigga's going to cost us the match.
I forgot they got to save all of their seriousness and legitimacy for Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Yeah, so, yeah.
So, All right, well, that's basically it, except for Kaz. You gotta say that about us.
He just said it, by the way.
See, you missed it. You missed it.
Yeah. I always say I missed it. So you gotta go back and listen, man. You gotta go back.
I'm gonna listen to it. Okay, and then I'm gonna listen. You say it again next week. So thank you very much again. You guys have a good day.
All right, peace out, Marco.
I've created a monster here, people.
Yes, you have. 314.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey, this is Carl.
See, I'm starting to find out. Like I knew this was you because I heard something like the wind blowing in the background. I was like, that's Carl.
Oh. No, yeah, I'm sorry. Defrosting the windows. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing well. How are you? Or at least I am. I don't know about Cass and Dalton.
I'm doing fantastic.
Say that again.
Well, I do know about Cass. That we'll get there though.
I just wanted to bring up just a couple of topics. I'm trying to move away from rants so much because I'm thinking about starting my own channel, and I want to able to have a discussion and not just fly off the handle all the time.
Okay.
So, one thing I wanted to bring up, something that you guys brought up before about that they kind of dropped was, the whole Shane versus Brock Lesnar thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be kind of interesting because there's one thing that I picked up that of course, WWE didn't make a big deal out of it, was how after Brock Lesnar attacked Shane for SummerSlam, this Paul Heyman pretty much pimped out Stephanie and pretty much called her a whore, and she just let it slide. It was like, you guys remember when he came out and she was like, you're going to pay this fine, and she was talking all tough, and then he started counting out ones to her, like she was just some bottom bitch and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then he kind of punked her and was like, Brock Lesnar, you don't want him to get mad and blah, 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 blah. But then we don't see him again until Goldberg. It speaks to the frustration I have with them. I think somebody in the chat spoke to it. Is like they don't want to see Brock Lesnar matches because of how unbeatable they make him seem. And it was like, why are you afraid of somebody who doesn't even show up to the damn show? Why are you so eager to please this dude who's not even here? It's like you're afraid of Brock Lesnar. It's like, just fire him. Like, what are you afraid of Brock Lesnar for? It's like, and I would kind of like if they did kind of pick up on that. Dollar signs for what? It's like,
yeah, okay, that's the thing.
Dollar signs for this one thing as a, but it's still, I don't know, to me in my mindset, and even Jay, you say you're on that island by yourself. Well, on the opposite side of the island, I'm there fishing with you because story-wise, it doesn't make sense to me because it's like, so you're where this dude doesn't even speak for himself. Paul Heyman, it's bad when I see your advocate more than I see you. Paul Heyman comes out and speaks on a microphone longer than Brock Lesnar matches go on. and that's a shame. And, I mean, when you think about it, and it's just like, I don't, and it is, I kind of hope that they do go back and forth to that. I also want to speak on, I know you guys have this thing of, like, why are they supposed to care about, why the roster's supposed to care about this, we're supposed to hate each other all this other time, but this one time we're supposed to have this brand loyalty or whatever. And I'll put it like this. I don't know about everybody else. Has anybody else worked in a chain restaurant?
Yes, definitely.
I have.
Okay, well then all of you are familiar with, hey guys, we got to get these scores up because we want to be better than the people on the south side. Because hey, if we do good, then we get a reward. It's kind of for lack of a better word, those bragging rights. That's the way I look at it. They may not care so much, but the fact that their boss has something to win is like, if I do good and impress my boss, then they'll give me a chip to use with him later. That's the way I look at it.
I guess that makes sense.
Think of,
damn, he got me.
I mean because that's just perfect sense for me because I worked at a few chain places. Like I've been a manager at a McDonald's and a Pizza Hut, and now I'm working at this grocery store, and it's the same thing there. It's like, hey, we need to get these so and so scores up, or hey, our store has the best customer service, so hey, we're getting a prize for that. You get those bragging rights. Shane and Stephanie get to throw that in each other's faces. That hey, you may be the quote unquote A team, but my team kicked your ass. My team has the real legitimate stars. And that's why I think of it. My third topic, which I'm trying to make this quick, I don't want to go on too long. The whole cruiserweight thing, or as Jay like to call it, the hobo fight league.
Yeah.
Well, first off, does anybody watch Up Up Down Down?
I do.
No.
Okay, Cass, you should, especially as big as a fan of Rich Swann as you are. He's been on there, and I think that you would, actually, it's funny that I watch even though it's affiliated, it's not necessarily run by WWE. It's affiliated with them, but you get more character development with the wrestlers there than you do on the actual show.
Yeah, there's no script. It's not canon.
Right, but you just feel more for them watching them there, like especially with their tournament. Roman Reigns was just on one where they were playing Call of Duty or whatever. He was finally on there. His nickname is the Merchandise. Everybody has a character name. Kofi is on there. Kofi is so funny. He's also a sore ass loser. But his tag name has been like 3 of them. He's been Mr. 24/7 and Mr. Gacho, in meaning got your ass, as he's known to yell. But as far as the cruiserweights go in the hobo fight league, you're right. They do talk about, mainly T.J. Perkins being homeless before, which I like that Corey Graves brought up. Was like, that's not a unique story to everybody, because Rich Swann has been homeless before. I wish they would bring up more about T.J. Perkins, his style, and how he likes to be flashy inside the ring, how he puts that together. I wish they would bring up with Rich Swann how, unlike the other cruiserweights, he's very, athletic, but he's afraid of heights. That's why he does that bouncing 450, because he doesn't like getting up high. With Cedric Alexander, the fact that he dropped weight to compete at this level, he could have easily competed. There's so much more they can do with their characters or whatever that they don't, and I think it's a waste.
I agree.
That's not saying that past cruiserweight divisions was that diverse. It was just that the people who were diverse had enough charisma for everybody. Your Rey Mysterios, your Eddie Guerrero, Ciampa,
and Jamie Noble.
Right? Oh, Jamie Noble was the shit. And I like Billy Kidman and Gregory Helms. I like him. When he was champ, I like the way he carried himself. But I also wanted to talk about how you guys had this conversation before about what's the difference if a big guy does some of the more flashy moves as a la cruiserweight. And when I think about that, I think about one of my favorite wrestlers, Shelton Benjamin. Hopefully he makes his surgery that he had on the shoulder.
Right, it was for a while.
Yeah. Ain't no stopping now. You can.
But hopefully he's able to return sometime next year, because he's honestly, one of my favorite wrestlers. Being not seeing too many black wrestlers, growing up, besides maybe Booker T or somebody who came and wasn't the thug. He wasn't Crime Time or anybody. He was just, I'm the best wrestler. He can out wrestle you and do all this other stuff. But he was still very athletic.
His match with Shawn Michaels, the Shelton Benjamin Shawn Michaels from 2005 in the Gold Rush tournament, that's still in my top 10.
Yeah, I can rewatch that anytime. But I want to speak on how it's like, what's the point of seeing cruiserweights do it if a bigger guy can do it. Well, the thing is, yes, a bigger guy can do it, but can they do it as well?
That doesn't matter.
No.
Well,
but hold
John
on,
Cena,
cause
don't even get
I'm
me
just
started with that.
But I'm just saying, like, just a bit, just at the base point. Like somebody like John Cena, he does, try to do some more things. Like he does this one kind of little flipping pin that he started doing like a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then you see Sami Zayn do it, and you're like, that's how that's supposed to be done. There's certain things that's just because of their build and their size, it has more impact when the smaller guys do it. I mean, because if you want to go with that, there's a lot of guys like your Tony Nese who are jacked, who can pull off some power moves, or like Cedric Alexander's, or Tommaso Ciampa's moves where they, throw you up in the air and slam you down on their knees. That's more impactful than any spear. I like Roman Reigns, but they're more impactful than any spear I've seen him do yet. Well, maybe except for one. And it's like, well, if they can pull out those kind of power moves, why am I watching the big guys? You can look at it the same way.
Nah, you can't look at that the same way at all. There's no way in hell somebody is going to be more impressed by a smaller guy doing something that they could see Brock Lesnar do. If Brock Lesnar was pulling out the what is it? What did he do? The shooting star?
The shooting star press.
The shooting star.
If Brock Lesnar was out there doing that in every match that he had, there'd be no use for a fucking cruiserweight. No use at all.
There would be, because the way Brock Lesnar does it, it's very sloppy.
Well, yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm speaking more for myself because I'm able to appreciate these are smaller guys and they do things in just the way they do it, and the style and the technique that they bring to it is different from this other guy who, even though he can pull it off, he can't pull it off as well. Like, yes, you can see this big guy jump over the top rope, but because of his height, because of his waist, because of his mass, it looks a little different. And sometimes they barely get over the damn top rope. I remember Bobby Lashley did a jump over the top rope, and his ass tripped. And and
how dare you mark my man Lashley?
Like, hey, man, you know I'm with Lashley. I say fuck Brock Lesnar all day, but I'm rooting for Bobby Lashley because I think Bobby Lashley will whoop Brock Lesnar's ass in either wrestling or in MMA. But if you take somebody like Finn Balor jumping over the top rope, there's just an aesthetic to it.
I can guarantee you that the mainstream pro wrestling crowd or casual fans do not care about that aesthetic at all. That's why we see.
You mean the same people that? Do you mean the same people who would chant for CM Punk even though his ass hadn't been in the company for years? Will fuck up a good match and not pay attention to it? You talking about those mainstream people?
I'm talking about the people who sit on their hands every time we have a cruiserweight match. Those people that don't react.
Yeah, okay.
As impressive as what they do in the ring is, there's a reason why they're not getting a reaction.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just me personally being excited to see cruiserweights again, and also being a little bit frustrated and feeling like how they squandered it. Because I know a lot of times, like some of their striking and some of their things that they do are more impressive than you see with the other people.
Ow.
All right, do you have any more questions or comments?
Yeah. No,
what are you laughing for, Cass?
All right, it's background stuff.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Carl.
All right,
peace.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, Carl.
All right, later.
Okay,
do we have time?
Yes.
Okay.
We're only like an hour into the show.
All right, good, awesome.
Why did you sound so aggressive?
You throwing yourself under the bus, man.
Okay, 252.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's up?
Nothing much. Jake Wan from North Carolina, Raleigh.
There you go. Yeah, North Kakalaki on this program. Finally.
I mean, we've had you for the whole history of the program. So.
Yeah, but you have no idea how lonely it's been. So it's good to have a North
Carolina. Oh God! Don't start singing.
Oh no, never that. I had two quick questions. I wanted to see how you guys felt about if you think that Jeff Hardy and Kurt are coming back sometime next year, and what brand they would be on. That's my first question.
Matt Hardy on SmackDown. Put Jeff on Raw.
Did you say Kurt?
No, not Matt. I don't care. I don't care about Matt.
What? You don't? You don't care
Jeff
about fucking brilliance?
No. Matt is the brain. Matt is the brains, and Jeff is the talent. As far as I'm concerned, in that duo.
I put Jeff on Raw, to be honest with you.
That's where he's gonna end up. It's nostalgia. Raw is nostalgia factor. They're gonna put him there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and my second question.
What else you got for us, man?
And the second question just was, do you think that, I guess is, what we were talking about in the chat too, as far as, it's easy for us to, dream and best book while we're sitting at the couches. Don't you think that some of the bookings is reasons that they can't happen or situations that arise that makes the obvious booking not happen? Because the point of the company is to make money, so why wouldn't they just give the fans what they want? If it was that simple.
It's a business. Either that or they're just idiots.
But don't you feel?
Currently, no.
Nobody.
No.
But I feel like that would be a revolving door, because even if you do give the fans exactly what they want and the outcome that they do want, that they're gonna say, well, you didn't do it right. That's not the way I wanted it to happen, or some kind of.
And that just speaks to
yeah, definitely.
That speaks to the fickleness of the fans' opinions, and hopefully the best show possible that they're trying to put on coincides with what you want. But But if you're gonna, because here's the thing, they can book up and down all you want. If they give you what you ask, some people will be satisfied with what you want.
They give credit where credit's due.
Oh, yeah, and there's an issue with that in the first place, because they'll give you what you asked, and it's well, they're only doing that to tease me along, because I had to sit through 8 other matches I didn't want to see to get the one I did want to see. It's you can't have all your cake, and eat it too. Their objective is to tease you with a morsel that's close to what you want, and maybe every once in a while, occasionally you'll get exactly what you want, but most of the time they're just trying to tease you.
And let me tell you something. Here's a perfect example. Kevin Owens being the Universal Champion right now. How many people were just saying, thank God, they finally did it. Kevin Owens is finally on the big time. He's finally got the title. But look,
sounds good on paper, don't it?
But that didn't seem like a proper Kevin Owens championship. That was by default because Finn got hurt. So I wasn't satisfied by that just because it was by default he got it. But that's all the questions I had. That's about it.
All right, thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Hey guys.
From the 347.
I heard Jay. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, I can still hear him.
Yeah. Hey guys. First thing I want to talk about is just about your previous conversation. I would just like to add on a couple things first.
Okay.
The whole giving fans what they want thing. I think it's such a hard thing to analyze, especially in this era, because you don't really there's too many different indicators, and they sometimes indicate different things. For example, you may say like Roman Reigns, for example, is a huge live event and merch and ratings draw, but he gets very subpar reactions. So you might look at his reaction and say, okay, well, this guy isn't that popular. But when you see that he's number 2, number 3 merchandise seller, you say, okay, well, maybe there's the water's a little murky there. You know what I mean? Or you may ask, like I know a lot of people. You ask somebody, okay, well, you think this Seth Rollins guy is pretty popular. I think he's the 3rd biggest live event draw in the company. Third to Lesnar and Cena. But you ask me, I hate Seth Rollins. I think he's the most overrated guy in the entire company.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We've talked to you before, right?
We about to say words.
You're the guy who thought that
talked.
Dean Ambrose was the best in-ring competitor in the Shield or something like that.
You're paraphrasing. I said something like that.
I remember you said some kind of fuckery about Dean Ambrose. So, but yeah, it's all good.
I'll let that slide. I'll let it slide because we don't have time.
Yeah, we know you and your little defending of Kevin Owens. I mean, not Kevin Owens, but Seth Rollins, Cash. We experienced it, almost around this time last year with the Superstar of the Year stuff. Mm-hmm.
Don't even remind me of that shit.
I want to ask you guys, the whole. Actually, watching this week, I thought that I know that Jay doesn't watch Raw, but I definitely think Raw was probably one of the better episodes.
Are you kidding me?
I think it definitely.
Well, here's the thing. I actually do agree with them because honestly, anything that's not from the States and anything that's from the European or the UK usually do good shows.
See, I thought the opposite. I usually can't stand when they go overseas and do.
As can shows. I like when they go overseas. I think WWE actually thinks like, oh well, this isn't in the States, so we don't have to try as hard. I mean, there's a reason the Scottish crowd overtook the show for a good 5 to 6 minutes because they were bored. Not only did they not progress really any storylines, it was just cut and paste, paint by the numbers. How is giving them Gold Dust and R-Truth and Shining Stars, how is that in any way, shape, or form, conducive to a good show?
Well, I think if you take, honestly, here's the thing. This past episode of Raw was one you did not need to watch. Like, I watched the YouTube clips for this because you look for, the good parts, and that sometimes, for some people, is considered a good show than overall.
So if a few really nice, well put together segments come on, then I guess what constitutes a good show to you? 3 bearable segments in a 3-hour show? Is that
You just
is that
gotta
pretty
keep.
fair?
I'd say you would have to keep me tuned in to everything.
Well,
And when
then,
I say
damn,
everything,
then
I mean
Raw
everything.
sucks for you, man.
I
Which
think
is
that you're being
why.
overly picky.
Go ahead, caller. What's your name?
Oh yeah, I think Chris.
Okay, Chris.
Chris, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't 3 hours. I mean, I think you can Raw
It sucks.
being 3 hours long. I don't think you can't get through this. I mean, well, and I think the 3 hours obviously isn't the problem because I remember WCW used to they used to put on 3 hour shows for the better part of 3 years before everything went to crap. And
Yep.
those shows were pretty good. They were far better than anything Raw has done in the last
Different
4
era.
years.
But no,
Different
no.
time.
Even though it was a different era, from a well-placed source that I have, I trust this person's opinion. They say back with those shows in WCW, they did try to book good shows every week with 3 hours, and that led to their demise because they were going all out every week, and it's hard to create a sustainable product when you're trying to put on a good 3 hour show every week. It's gonna fuck you in the end, basically.
But there's
the
the-
thing.
but-
And
but
luckily for
again-
WWE, they don't try. So yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
right.
they don't try, but yet they're not stopping when they don't see that it's horrible crap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you guys, what do you think about the Baron Corbin injury angle? Because I think when you do injury angles on heels, it's a tough thing to swallow because it creates sympathy. We've seen, crowds cheer for guys who have gotten injured, and that's
Which is
what
so
we see
dumb.
out the arena holding their shoulder. I think, it's a little. I didn't think it went over well. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
I thought it was.
Baron
I thought
Corbin
it
is
was
not at
smart.
risk for being cheered by the crowd. Let's just go ahead and say that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly didn't think he did too bad, but it was honestly like, yeah, that damn guy is faking.
I actually thought the execution was really good. I mean, I understand Chris's point that injury angles on heels does conjure sympathy to a character who we're not supposed to be sympathetic to, but in terms of execution, for what they had to do, I thought it was well done. Once again, I thought that Corbin did really well in his acting as if he was really hurt, and if it was going to happen such that Shane was going to replace somebody, though I don't think it should have been Corbin, at the same time, I'm not sure who better it could have been. So
True.
Well, I mean, Shane implementing himself. I'd take a injured Corbin over a healthy Shane any day.
Oh, as would I. I
Because-
second that.
I agree.
Like, Shane said, a long time ago that it was supposed to be about SmackDown was going to be about the superstars, and we knew that was BS, of course, because it's WWE at the end of the day, no matter what SmackDown is. But I think to blatantly go against everything you said and what SmackDown was supposed to stand for, I mean, I'll take a boring Baron Corbin match over that crap any day. That's not going to entice me to watch that Survivor Series match at all. I think it's really sad.
Like a guy like Apollo Crews honestly could have used that spot. If you think if you wanted to take Baron Corbin out, use the people that you have. Just do something.
Yeah, and that's one aspect that I didn't even think of when we were talking about this earlier. How many people on that damn list that Daniel Bryan had, how many people did he have to skip over, or how many people did he have to completely ignore before he said, Shane would be good there?
He even said Shane's name was on the top left corner. It's so you're not even looking at the paper.
Yeah, so you either had to go, fuck all of these people, and then, how can I get out of this? Or you just didn't even pay attention. One or the other.
Yeah.
Well, take into account that if they had put Apollo Crews in that match, he'd be doing nothing the very next week. at least we know Shane has a Mania match coming up, and he's going to be on TV.
A match that I don't want to see. So
right.
That does nothing.
They're not doing anything with Apollo Crews, and they're not going to do anything with him anytime soon. So putting him in that match specifically, it would have been like, okay, here's 4 guys
like an Eric Rowan
really care about.
Like what they did with Eric Rowan a couple years ago for Team Cena.
Yeah.
Which was probably the most. That was the most time Eric Rowan was over.
Oh, he's still over among the crowd, the viewers of the program, and it's all from that fucking time. Because I was questioning, why the hell is Eric Rowan in this match? And then by me talking trash about him, apparently it created this whole new generation of fans. So you're welcome, Eric Rowan.
I want to ask you guys. I want to pass the angle by you guys. See what you guys think. It's something that probably never happened, but I think it would be good. Probably be the hottest thing in the company. Would you guys think if, like I heard that with Braun Strowman, the big angle that they're planning to do with him is have him go undefeated until Samoa Joe debuts. I know that's a rumor. Doubt that's going to be the case. But would you guys think it'd be better for him to come in, have a match with Roman, and completely destroy him?
No.
No.
Wait, who's destroying Roman?
Braun Strowman.
Oh.
No.
Why not?
Because they would have to see more in Braun Strowman than they do in Roman Reigns for them to have Roman be his bitch, and I don't.
Russ
Braun beat the fuck out of the Undertaker.
Wait, who?
The Great Khali beat the fuck out of the Undertaker.
And I think in hindsight, we all know that was a mistake.
Yes.
And Vladimir Kozlov did the same thing.
And in hindsight, I think we all know that was a mistake.
I know this is kind of weak, of a really weak argument, but we as fans generally perceive Taker's character as indestructible for the most part. We don't perceive that same thing with Roman Reigns, and you know,
who do, or at least they lie to themselves and try to make it the case.
Well, okay, yeah, but like if I think the majority of the fans, if they were to see Roman take a loss to Strowman, as soon as they were supporting him, they'll turn around and say like, "Well, look, he lost to Strowman. Strowman's got no momentum. Like, can you believe this guy? He's Superman. He can't even beat this 7-foot giant." Like, I know that's such a weak argument, but I seriously think that's what they would think. I don't see that happening as far as Strowman.
And by the way, as far as like the rumor of Strowman's next feud, I heard it's supposed to be with the Big Show at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yay!
How original.
That doesn't make any sense. That's so stupid. Not only because it's Big Show, but because Big Show is going to be jobbing to Shaq at WrestleMania. So him jobbing at 2 big pay-per-views in a row, having no momentum going into the second.
You act like WWE doesn't pull that switcheroo all the friggin' time. They're just gonna have what they had like a ton of matches with Big Show and Cesaro, where Big Show whooped his ass time and time again to prepare him to get his ass whooped by Brock Lesnar. So yeah, they'll just find somebody to have them job to Big Show.
Just to quote Chase Oliver from one of my fellow YouTubers, Big Show is gonna be jobbing to Care Bear.
Who's Care Bear?
Actually, Superwoman, if you've seen any Halloween photos.
Yeah, Strowman is known as Care Bear.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's Spanky.
I got 2 more things to talk about. I got 2 more things to talk about. One is I'm gonna say I have one. The last one is pretty controversial, so I'll save it for last. The second to last thing is the New Day. They're gonna be losing the titles once they. I don't know if they beat in Demolition's record. They're probably gonna lose to DX, or they're gonna bring back Hawk and have him and the Road Warriors beat them, because nobody on the roster is gonna do it.
DX.
So what do you think happens when? What do you think happens when the New Day drops the title? Who they're gonna drop it to, and what do you think is gonna happen to the 3 guys?
The Revival when they debut.
I can see that.
Good.
So wait, Demolition's record is like 400 days, right?
They should not be the champions right now.
So, like, I would rather see a debuting tag team or a tag team with more momentum because, like, I don't see Sheamus and Cesaro doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you could, like, I'm certainly over the New Day, but you don't need to pawn it off on Sheamus and Cesaro just for the purposes of squandering the record for New Day. I think this has certainly run its course, but the Revival's a good choice.
Say yeah.
If American Alpha were on Raw, which they're not going to be, but that would be a good choice too.
Yeah, I don't see Swiss and Ginger Snap knocking off New Day for the championships. I don't see it.
I have this idea that Kofi Kingston, I think, he's like the dark horse in that group because nobody pays him a lot of attention. But do you guys think he should be moved into the main event scene? Honestly, what else is there for him to do?
If this was 09, Kofi Kingston was feuding with Randy Orton, yes. But right now, he needs to stay the fuck where he's at.
I honestly could. There was a point in 09 with his main event push where had you dressed Kofi up in a suit, maybe cut his hair or like put it back in a bun and just ignored the previous mentioning of the Jamaican gimmick and just make his demeanor angry, there was a point where I could have seen Kofi being a top heel, but they missed that boat 7 years ago. So at this point, I think he should just be supplemental. I mean, I hate it because he's really good, but they squandered an opportunity with him.
What do you guys think about Donald Trump being president?
Oh boy, there's the hot button.
People, we are doomed. I am going to Japan, so I do not have to be here when the disaster happens. Everybody out there needs to be worried. I am concerned. So if you want to join me to go into Japan, then go ahead. Like, I will find liberation somewhere else, but I do not want to be here when the damn disaster happens. Like, seriously, people. Why? I don't know. I do not get this. Why? Here's the thing. I can't even be hopeful until we get to the damn inauguration in January because, get this, I already know this is a bad sign. You have Vladimir Putin actually saying Donald Trump and email saying that he was happy. He was happy that Donald Trump won. This means we're going to have to be nice to Russia again. Russia and America friends again. That is a damn problem. That is just like, that is already a bad sign. And Obama shaking Donald Trump saying, Jesus Christ, we are finished.
Yeah. Well,
are you sure you're still Hispanic, Dalton? Because,
Well, see,
get this. I didn't even want to bring that up. That would have opened up something else, but
if all hyperbole aside, if Hispanics are possibly going back, for the record, I was born in this country.
Already. Get that wall ready. It's gonna be surrounded everybody. But everything's gonna be going down. Like the wall's gonna be built. The apocalypse is upon us. Like, God damn it.
Can I just say that I wasn't too far off from how Cass is reacting right now?
Well, you're part of the military, so you've got a personal stake in it. Like, for the record, I voted for Gary Johnson, so I'm part of the 2%.
Yeah, apparently Mike Pence thinks I'm, weakening unit cohesion too. So yeah, that's a problem. But I'm not gonna
seriously, people, I did not even give a damn about this election as much as and let me tell you something. For the first time ever, this is my first time ever voting. For the first time ever voting, and I have to spend the next 4 years being pissed off in this damn country. Damn it.
You know what, Chris? You just what a grand finale for us to go out on. But I'm not look.
Right.
If you want to know what I think about Donald Trump being elected, go look at my liked tweets on Twitter because I've been burning it up over there. But yeah, this is you know what? I'm not. Thank you for calling in, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem.
Thanks, man.
Bravo, Chris. Bravo.
Okay. Any closing comments, Cass? I was about to say, do you need like a breather? But knowing you, you don't. You can go for like 10 more minutes if you wanted to. But closing comments, Cass.
God damn it,
Dalton.
Man, Lucas is doubting my libertarianism. Do I have to show you my voter's registration card?
just get that wall, Ray. I'm telling you, just get that wall ready.
Over these next few years, you will have to, show some papers, so you might as well get ready.
I was born in Boca Raton, damn it.
And they need to make sure of it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to the PWF Empire podcast. We'll be back next week. Same place, same time. As for us, you can follow me on Twitter at PWF Empire.
Don't you dare.
Follow Dalton at PWTR Dalton. And Cass at hashtag Cass10 Goodwin.
Yes!
Okay, and that is it. We'll catch you later. Peace.
Later days.